Hey y'all, it's your girl Coach Kinsley. Today we're going to talk about sleep. Why should you get it, and how does your exercise routine affect it?
What? Oh, sorry. I thought you meant now. That's my bad. I was sleeping. Yeah, we better get podding on this. I better tighten it up.
Wake up!
Welcome to 15-Minute Fitness Fix with Coach Kinsley. I'm producer Mike, senior editor for the podcast, and a former client of Coach Kinsley's who benefited from every rep until I heard
3, 2, 1, let's go! Remember to always consult your physician before starting any nutrition or fitness regimen. So, most people have heard sleep is important. It's true. Everyone hears that throughout their life. It's going to be important for every single system that you have: your heart, blood, your hormones, your metabolism, even your breathing and your immune system, and your memory. Sleep is going to affect every single aspect of your life.
Now, Coach, when I was a teenager, boy, could I sleep. I could sleep with the best of them. But I'm assuming back then I was a growing boy. And as I got older and, a little more autonomy, the saying is, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, I don't want to do that. I pay attention to my sleep nowadays. I will say that probably been about 10 years ago, my sleep was negatively affected by my health in that I ended up having sleep apnea. And that caused, I know, a whole host of health problems.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Well, the mindset I had back then, like, oh, I'm overweight, whatever. Give me some more ribs. Give me some more potato chips. I'm going to sit on my behind for 10 hours and then I'm going to play some video games. I don't care, whatever. And that attitude defeated my body. And so that was one of the first things that I addressed was sleeping. And my wonderful wife,
Mhm.
who got tired of elbowing me in the ribs to get me to roll over, to stop, to move, whatever, was the first one to suggest I do a sleep study, and I did. And so I went in, and they hooked me up with the wires, and I looked like some kind of crazy robot that was really sleep because I didn't sleep the night before. And of course, I stayed up and had a big bowl of cereal and whatever. But I was really tired. But I have the bright lights are on and people are watching you, and I didn't sleep that well. And when I did, it was pretty clear that I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. And I think that later on contributed to some cardio issues that I had, cardiac issues.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it is all connected.
I didn't know this about you, so keep going. I'm interested, and I would like to hear your story. Once you started those walks versus once we started weightlifting together, was there a big difference in your sleep quality? Because there are studies, but I want to start with your story.
So, yeah, part of my health journey up until that point, that summer, a couple of years ago, I was at least sleeping more soundly. And the episodes, those machines, they can count the number of times you quit breathing during the middle of the night. When I was diagnosed, it was something like 20 times per hour that I would stop
Oh my
breathing.
word.
And so, yeah, that was at the sleep study. And, once I got used to wearing the machine, the CPAP machine, it improved, to a healthy level. I mean, now it's maybe once an hour, maybe. It's usually less than that. It's, once every couple hours. The number's negligible now. Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing at a time, one issue at a time. And so that
Yeah, that's a non-scale
it
victory.
is totally because once I got to that point, then I'm like, okay, I feel better. I'm sleeping better. We've addressed that. And so let's work on these other issues. And so that's when I started walking. And at first, it was a walk, then it was a day off, and a day off, and maybe a walk. But then I just kept adding days of walking because I felt better. And guess what, coach? I was sleeping better.
Yes.
And I could feel it. I could feel when I'd lay down that, my muscles would be like, ah. And that sort of rest, uh, the relaxation that goes through, was really a benefit to my walking. And that just then kept me walking more. And then realizing, hey, if I walk a lot, I can sleep much better. And then, I don't toss and turn. I don't do that. And so
Mhm.
as I started walking and sleeping better and building up my energy, and I'm walking more and I'm going farther, and I walk by the regional gym. And
Hey,
guess and guess who's a personal trainer at the regional gym?
it's Coach Kinsley. Yeah, girl.
That's right. That's right. My friend Coach Kinsley. When we started working out, and I mean really working out, uh, we had taken the stops off, and we were going 100%. I slept really well, and that just kept me coming back because sleep had been such an issue for me that having that rest now is crucial to my overall mental health, my physical health, just having energy in the morning. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, so when you say you slept well or you slept even better once we started like really getting into resistance training, do you mean falling asleep faster or do you mean staying asleep?
yes, and yes, falling asleep faster, being more relaxed when I wake up, and actually, overnight, my muscles are repairing and tearing and repairing. And then I wake up and I can feel myself. I'm like, oh, it is hard to get up now because I'm so relaxed and it's so nice. And so, yeah, it is a more restful sleep that I get to faster.
Mhm.
The difference. It is amazing.
That's great. You know, that's all anyone can hope for from their sleep is to get sleep quickly and then stay asleep until they're supposed to wake up.
So, yeah, that benefit, obviously has positively affected my health, my energy. My lovely wife is sleeping much better now over the years. So, we're all thankful for that. And now I think there was one time I went down to go visit my mom and had forgotten my machine. And so this was recently. This was in the last 6 months or so. And so I hadn't ever slept without it since I got it, 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. And so I'm like, well, how's this going to go? So I slept and my mom being my mom, she like stood there at the doorway for a second and
Ooh.
didn't hear a peep. Didn't because I thought I'd snore, I'd be loud and but I'm not that same person I was 3 years ago.
No, not at all.
And that's made a huge difference. So I'm still going to use it until I'm just still going to use it because it's just part of my routine now. But I'm in a better place fitness wise, health wise, weight wise, all of it. That the benefit gonna give me hopefully a little bit longer time to
Mhm.
hang around and annoy people.
You're so funny. Yeah, and you know, everything that you've experienced from first the cardio and then from the resistance training is thankfully not unique. Like, exercise can be the solution to your sleep problems because exercise is going to affect all places of your life just like sleep affects all places of your life, so it's this positive feedback loop. So exercising will improve your sleep from the beginning. Like you said, it's easier to fall asleep when you exercise regularly, and then it'll decrease the amount of time that you're like lying there awake. Like, you'll get more, what did you say, you said restful sleep.
Yes.
Right, so the quality goes up as well as the time. That's a twofer. And all you got to do is exercise. But what kind of exercise you do when can affect this as well. Now, you and I, we've always trained either way early in the morning or the afternoon. Where this gets tricky is for people that work out in the nighttime?
I'll say that yes, back way, way back in the day when I ran my first half marathon, that's when I ran. That's when I trained was in the evening. I'd get home from work, I'd change, and I'd go run. And if it's a long run day,
Hmm.
then I'm out there hour and a half, and then I'm resting and I'm showered, and it's like 8 o'clock, and I'm wide awake. 9 o'clock, wide awake. 10 o'clock, wide awake. And I see I see at no
Yeah,
point where I'm going to feel tired. So you try different things to relax. I would listen to music, and eventually I would fall asleep, and that's when I would feel restful. But certainly, exercising that intensely that late affected my ability to fall asleep right away.
right. Negatively. And that makes a lot of sense because as you are exercising, especially with moderate to vigorous exercise, your endorphins are getting released, so you're happy. But furthermore, or most importantly, your heart rate's elevated. Like your heart rate needs to be at least at baseline to fall asleep. So it makes a lot of sense that that would negatively affect your sleep. And like some people, that's the only time that you have. I've been there, and depending on your goals, you got to make it work sometimes. But ideally, exercising to improve sleep, you'll do resistance training in the morning. So this resistance training in the morning, you'll be more awake during the day. It'll help like alleviate your daytime sleepiness. And then because you did in the morning, it'll also encourage an earlier release of melatonin in the evening. So that's going to help you get to sleep faster.
Really, that's interesting because I do an early lunch workout now, 3 or 4 times a week, depending. But when I run, it's in the mornings. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm glad on my non-workout days when I'm running that it's in the morning. Because I had no idea about that because I thought since back way back in the day when I trained originally for a half marathon that I would just go back to doing it at night. But no, nope, not
No.
nope, not with the information I have now, Coach. Thanks
Right.
to you.
And hey, the afternoon is still a good time to get a high intensity exercise. So that could be resistance training. Resistance training can be definitely high intensity if you're going heavy enough. Or it could be cardio, again, if you're going heavy enough or hard enough. Like high intensity exercise still has room in the afternoon and will still promote that restful sleep that you're talking about. Now, in the evening, like I said, this is where it gets tricky. That's where you want to do either light resistance or like just low intensity exercising. Like I would suggest more something like honestly stretching. Stretching would be great, some body weight, but not body weight hit training because body weight exercises does not always mean easy, but I really mean like light resistance, low intensity. Like you can't get your heart rate up into that cardio zone and then expect to be able to go to sleep within 2 hours. It's just not realistic. Your body's not built like that.
Okay. Solid advice, coach. And I'm glad I am not going to switch that and keep running in the morning because, as I recall, that's when the half marathon kicks off in October. So I'll be ready for sure.
Nice. Yes. And there are so many places where our listeners where you can look up more information about this, like heart, lung, blood institutes. All are going to say the same thing about sleep being positively affected by exercise. The Sleep Foundation, like any organ foundation, is going to say the same thing. Like exercise is so important, but you can really refine when you do it to help it even more.
And we'll have links to those in the show notes for the episode. All right, Coach Kinsley, hit the highlights for us.
The highlights. Exercising regularly will improve your sleep. With improved sleep, you will have improved quality of life. I want to encourage our listeners to do resistance training in the morning, high intensity exercise in the afternoon, and stick to light resistance. in the evenings.
And you know the best thing about that, Coach?
What?
And the best thing about this whole episode?
What's up?
No fish.
Oh my goodness. You got me. How did I not see that coming? Thank you so much for joining us today on 15-Minute Fitness Fix with Coach Kinsley. The fun doesn't need to stop here. Email me at coach@coachkinsley.com. You can check out my webpage, coachkinsley.com, and also find me on Instagram at, you guessed it, Coach Kinsley. You're a girl. See you next week. Boom.